Keeko is a different version of Sneeko in the worst way possible, because I feel like when it comes to her being on Brian's podcast, I will never forget the time when there was a Christian that was on there, and he was basically stating facts that a straight man that has sex with a transgender man is considered gay. It's true, and it is gay that you sleep with transgender people. And as soon as you spread the facts on there, all of a sudden it's like a haterade going crazy over the fact that a guy that is telling you the truth, you get triggered and offended over a fact that you don't think that a straight man having sex with a transgender isn't gay. I think it's a red flag of all things, in my honest opinion, because me, I'm not attracted to trans people. I'm straight. So don't take my words as being transphobic because of what I said. I'm speaking on the facts. So shout out to Isite Baby for uploading this video, and we're gonna jump right into it.
It's not an issue at all.
What are you trying to say? Is not an issue?
No, you keep making it into but it's not. You're trying to shame men for having preferences for younger women by labeling it something that's illegal. That's a classic shame tactic. Nobody talked about having interest in women under the age of 18.
Yeah.
We just said a lot of men prefer younger women. And you're like, that's fucking pedophilia.
Maybe I'm so triggered by it from the time when I was underage and how many older men were trying to get me. I couldn't even walk down the street.
We're not talking about the same thing. We're talking about adult
Look at
women
her.
here. It happens to be the case that men are attracted to younger women for a myriad of reasons. And when I say younger women, I mean women, adult women from 18 and up. It's kind of funny, like, we don't shame women for your preferences. You want a guy who's confident, rich, funny, charismatic, all these things, right? But men, we have different preferences than you guys do.
What's the age range on the men that you're talking about from this observation?
From 18 to 60.
Y'all know what I find hilarious about this girl, Keeko? You said this with your whole little mosquito bite chest, with your little pecho. You said this. You were on a podcast with Chase, and you specifically said you had clothes when you were a cheerleader, right? I think you said your cheerleading clothes and your shoes. And what did you do? A guy had a fetish for what? Underage, whatever, and you gave it to him. So why are you saying you're traumatized by that? Because if you watch that episode, what you said and what came out of your mouth.
I find it funny that she would even go on the podcast and just try to double play on what she said before. How a guy has a fetish of something and you gave it to him. And then you want to go on the podcast and then you blame men of your downfall instead of taking actual accountability for your own actions. You're an adult. You're responsible of what you do. You make bad mistakes. That's on you. But don't blame us for what happened to you. When you literally the only one that made a decision to do this and that. And then you want to crap on men for having preferences of dating younger women who are over the age of 18 and 21 or 25. I'm a 33-year-old man. One day when I do meet me somebody, it doesn't matter what age, young or old. If they're good looking, healthy, fun, mature, and have respect for themselves, that are nothing like these 304s, I'm going to get with them. I'm not going to waste my time with someone who is young and mature that don't have a common sense of knowledge of what's coming out of their mouth, that I'm not going to want to be around that. But it's the fact that you expose yourself multiple times to the point where it's Tay Baby and everybody that has been doing stitches on TikTok of you. And I think you are the biggest hypocrite I've ever seen.
Enabling those type of nasty men. So don't come up on here and try to go to men and try to sit there and paint a narrative that they're not even talking about. The one thing about her that's really annoying, and you could tell that she's kind of young and her brain is like this small, she just yaps instead of
Very
listening.
small.
You know what I mean? And it was annoying even being on that podcast with her because she doesn't know how to have a constructive like conversation without exaggerating and projecting. Didn't you hear what she just said? Oh, I'm traumatized, I'm this. Take your trauma out of debates, baby, because you're not made for this. You don't have the ganas for it, ¿me entiendes? Let it go, mama. We know this ain't for you. You be getting all wrapped up, emotional. Oh man. Nobody's talking about that. If a man wants to date a girl who's 19, 20, that's his business. At the end of the day, let's be real here. Are you taking care of her? Are you protecting her? Are you buying her stuff? No. So if she wants to be with an older man, that's her business. I know so many young girls when I was in high school dating older guys would literally go out of their way to talk to older guys. And you know what? We don't even talk about that. We talk about supposedly older men trying to always go for young women. No one's saying that doesn't happen because it does. But we see young women doing the same thing. A lot of young women do like older guys. Guys, I don't knock nobody's preferences. Do you know why? Because you can't sit here and force people to like certain things.
Exactly.
You know, like you might look at me and go, oh, I don't find her attractive. That's okay. I'm not shoving it down.
Hey, she is speaking nothing but facts. Last year, I did a video on actress that her son doesn't like spicy foods, and he's Latina. When I said that you can't force, when I said that you can't force your son to like something that he doesn't like, to eat something that he doesn't like. So last year, I did a video on the topic that everyone was talking about, Evil La Gloria son, about not liking spicy foods, and I said that you can't force onto something that your child doesn't like. And someone had the nerve to respond to my comment and say that what if your son or your child turns out to be gay? And that really made me think to myself, what does that got to do with the comment I said? The post is literally about her son not liking spicy foods. And all of a sudden, it turned into this LGBT topic. And everybody is accusing me of being homophobic because of what I said. When I said that I'm not going to allow my son to let society tell him what he should be. And I'm going to have a talk to him about life in general. But y'all have a problem with me saying that I'm going to make sure I'm going to protect my son or daughter from strange, crazy, and weirdos from y'all, the left. So basically, it's because when I said that I was not gonna let my son or daughter turn gay because of what society made them out to be something that they're not. Instead of taking them to church, showing them the ways of God and life, and studying the words of the Bible and all of that, I could have said all those things in that post, but I specifically said one comment. And all of a sudden, it just went straight left for no apparent reason. I ended up making a video on it last year, and I still stand by what I said because it makes me angry that no matter what you say, you are not allowed to have an opinion on anything. The world just wants you to accept this and that and not say anything negative about whatever. And that doesn't work like that. Everybody is free to have an opinion on certain things. But you cannot knock people down on it regardless. Whether it's about the LGBT stuff or just straight facts, in my opinion.
I see a man and he says, hey, I like 20-year-old whatever. That's not my business. That's your preference.
Exactly.
I think the thing that's wrong with this generation is we're not allowed to have preferences no more. We're not allowed to speak our mind no more. We're not allowed.
And that's why the Passport Bros movement began. In America, you're not allowed to have preference. You're not allowed to live your life as a man. But when it comes to women, they get away with everything because they're women. They're allowed to hit. They're allowed to fight men. They're allowed to break, destroy, and damage properties because of us, this and that. But when men do it, it's a problem. But when women do it, it's justifiable. It's okay when they do it, but it's a problem when we do it. That's why the Passport Bros exist, because we're tired of this nonsense. Y'all are literally okay of dating older guys. But you want us to date somebody who is younger, who is an adult, mature, that has respect for herself, that is brought up in a good environment, that make men want to be with them in the first place. But you want us to date somebody our own age. Marcus Houston said it best. Women in his own age are nothing but drama, headaches, that don't bring nothing to the table but heartache. They have a lot of baggage, which means that they probably have kids already. It tells me that they're either miserable or just straight up toxic. So that's what he got with a young woman. And he's happily married. He's happily living his life. As soon as the news media broke out, everybody was all over his case. But you want to get on a young woman's case who was dating an older gentleman. And I did a video on this last year. A father who is concerned about his daughter who is 24 or 22 is dating someone who is almost at their 40s. So instead of getting to know him, you just judge him and criticize him because he likes your daughter and your daughter likes him. It's like she said, everybody has a preference. You cannot knock that person down. I'm having preferences of what they like in a guy and what they like in a woman. I mean, it's nobody's business, but if it's about money, then that could also be the problem. And if it's OnlyFans, that could also be a problem as well. If you do something else like make videos like this, like I'm doing, instead of selling yourself on the internet because of whatever reason, then not a lot of guys are going to want to end up dating someone like that. So Tay is speaking facts so far.
For themselves anymore, and I feel like when you do speak up on certain things, you're a weirdo, you're outspoken, you're this. It's like, no, we just have different opinions. You like what you like, I like what I like. Keeko, just drop this already. I hate hearing you even talk about this. I hate seeing this down my timeline because, like I said, you were on a podcast enabling a man who is a sicko. So guess what that makes you? You're just as sick as him.
Exactly. Once again, shout out to Sete Baby. I'm gonna link to her video down below so you guys can check it out for yourself. Like I said, at the end of the day, we are all adults. We're all allowed to make our own decisions, and we're allowed to have preferences the same way women have preferences of guys. So are men. So whoever I date is nobody's business. So if you don't like it, suck it. So yeah, link to the original video will be down below.